Another video. Now, welcome back to another video, and this is probably the first time you guys have seen my face in forever. You can tell my acne problem has gotten a lot worse, as you can tell. And we are, as you see, it's been forever. It's been probably since September since we've done these college football predictions. And we're going to be doing another one today. But if you guys don't remember, I think I did really well in week 1, but then I just did shit in week 2. Week 1 is a very predictable week because a lot of smaller teams play bigger teams. But if you guys have no clue, my national champion, my preseason national champion was Alabama, and they barely got into the playoff this year. So, but however, they're the only team that's been in all of them, and Clemson up there with 3 CFP playoff appearances. So I think I told you guys I was gonna wait until the Army-Navy game to come back and tell you guys what I thought, but I'm gonna tell you who I thought all the conference champions would be. So as you see up here, what I'm moving right up here, that is all your conference championship games. I believe so. So this is the Pac-12. I believe I had Utah winning it preseason, and Utah looked like they were going to be good, but then they actually turned out to be complete utter shit. I remember in the very first year of the college football playoff, I believe they were at once ranked third, and probably the highest they've been ranked since they had Urban Meyer. But however, the team I did think was going to make it, Stanford, they did make it, but they didn't win. Actually, I would have predicted about that score if Utah was there. Pretty much, I kind of got it right. I mean, however, what I said about the playoff, though, was the winner of the Pac-12 would get in the playoff. Turns out the Pac-12 actually found their way out, and I believe this is the only year the Pac-12 has been kicked out. Oh, wait, no. This is the second year, because in 2015 they didn't make it. They put Oklahoma as the Big 12 instead, which it's their second time getting in, by the way. And I am so happy because I got Memphis right getting to the championship. I did predict that Memphis would be in the conference championship, but I did not predict them to lose to UCF. I actually thought that would be USF. I didn't know if they'd lose any games, but they actually lost 2. They lost 2 games, guys, and I thought they were either going to be 1 loss or undefeated. But it would have made more sense that they were undefeated because UConn was shit, and I thought that maybe they would be able to beat UConn probably. I just chose that as an upset. I thought USF was probably going to go undefeated. Well, what sucked for UCF, though, they did pretty well this season. I don't even think they lost a game. They're the only Group of 5 team that's gonna get a. They already have their. They already have their New Year's Six bowl decided already. They're gonna be playing Auburn. And actually, I wouldn't know who wins that because I mean Auburn has nothing to really play for. So I mean they should be in the holy shit. Holy shit, I was just watching a commercial of Madden 18. Holy shit, I just saw my Raiders freaking lose to the Patriots by 1 point. Madden 18 shit though, because it has Marshawn Lynch. I'd rather have, what's his face? Latavius Murray. He was a good running back. He's playing for the Vikings now. As you guys see down here, the Army-Navy game, that'll be on in like 5 minutes. I'm not going to go watch it until I'm done with the prediction, So, yeah, I actually had USF winning I'm trying to remember exactly what I thought. I thought the score would be like 52-31 or something like that. I had it high scoring. I just didn't think it would be like what Memphis and UCF was, like a shootout. But I'm telling you guys, I had USF instead of UCF. But however, the division I chose did win. And I did have the Pac-12 stuff winning the championship, but I did not have USC. I had Utah. Now I thought they were going to go into the playoffs, which is a very bold prediction. But honestly, it could have happened if Utah had a little bit of a better season. Also, my hair looks way different than when I last had webcam. I actually went to go look at one I made. Then there's TCU and Oklahoma. I'm going to tell you guys. TCU, I thought was going to be absolute shit. Like 6-6. They barely get to a bowl game. And maybe they might win depending on who they face. And then Oklahoma is, Oklahoma, I really didn't know about them this year, honestly. Honestly, if I could have seen them doing still as good with Baker Mayfield, I still could have seen them doing as well. I would have definitely took Oklahoma to be the champions. But I thought with Bob Stoops leaving, that was going to fuck their program up. Well, just their football program, you know. But nope. Oklahoma ended up winning and they're in the playoff right now. They're at number 2. Highest they've been ranked probably since they last went to a national championship. Back in like 2011. I don't remember what year it was. It was somewhere between 10 and 11 when they beat. I believe they played Florida and they won. If I'm right. Then yeah, but Oklahoma kicked ass in that game and kind of expected it to be that way. You know, I think I predicted like Oklahoma State and Kansas State or Texas or something. I had Oklahoma State as the Big 12 champions, but you know, I guess Oklahoma really did deserve it. They still played. They played a little bit better than Bob Stoops than with Bob Stoops last year. I mean, it really just depends on what it seems like is the strength of their schedule. Who they play will make it hard, but you see. But you know, they actually were pretty good. I mean, if you can play better than your schedule, then you should beat your schedule. And then the biggest mistake I made this season was I had Alabama and Florida repeating in the SEC championship, but instead, my dreams are crushed. I just see UGA kick ass all year, and then Auburn beat Alabama like 14-26 in the last game of the season. It was going to be up to that game to decide who wins that division. What was heartbreaking though was, you know, Florida absolutely played like shit this year. They were like 4-8, 4-7, something like that. I think they were just a little bit better than Tennessee. But yeah, they were shit. Like they started out looking like they were gonna be good, then they just fell apart when they lost to LSU and Texas A&M. You know, when they lost to LSU, I could just see Florida falling apart. No, I didn't see that until they lost to Texas A&M. I'm thinking there's no way in hell they're gonna beat UGA. I mean, even early in the season, I could see UGA kicking their ass. You know, preseason, I said Florida was going to win that game, but Georgia ended up winning it. But Georgia ended up turning out really good, and then, like, Florida was just a disappointment. I would have never decided that to happen in the preseason, I know that. And what I didn't expect, though, was that the SEC East was going to win this one. I thought the SEC West was going to win, whether or not. Didn't matter who they played from that division. Didn't matter who they played from the East. I thought the West was still going to win. I did think Auburn. I believe the only two teams I think Alabama could have potentially lost to was LSU or Auburn, and I thought maybe even Texas A&M. Texas A&M usually sucks, so that's why I didn't think they had a good shot. Looking at how Alabama did last year, they really kicked their ass. Bama really kicked ass last year. I think they won like 33-14 last year over them. This year they struggled. Alabama struggled in a lot of games, but you know, honestly, when it came down to that fourth playoff spot, I really think Alabama deserved it more than Ohio State. So Ohio State got blown the fuck out by Iowa. 24-55. It was a 31-point loss. I think that should have been automatic disqualification for Ohio State because they look just like Penn State. They have a blowout loss. And they really haven't been playing as good as Alabama. Yeah, they schedule Mercer, and Mercer sucks. But I mean, Alabama hasn't been blown out by anyone who's bad. I mean, honestly, I think that was the best decision for who should get in because Ohio State had that shit loss to Iowa. I'm even an Ohio State fan. Like, I love my Buckeyes, but I mean, like, they honestly did shit, and I was so disappointed. Literally, I barely even watched the fourth quarter, to be honest. Like, they're getting beat like 45-17, and I'm just like, I'm off the channel because they're the number 6 team in the nation. Start fucking playing like it, or I'm not gonna watch. Okay, but however, they did turn around. And then they just absolutely whomped over Michigan State. So I'm gonna tell you that Iowa loss was probably just a fluke. Ohio State was probably just having a really bad game, and that was obvious because they threw 4 interceptions, something they don't usually do, and something they haven't done in forever. So their passing really didn't look that good. Iowa, I thought at the time was actually underrated because that brought them up to like 6-3. It made them bowl eligible, and then they were ranked 20th the following week. But then what was sad was they looked so freaking disappointing when they went to play Wisconsin at Camp Randall. They just got their ass kicked. But one thing I'll give it to them is they did beat Nebraska by quite a few points, like just as bad as Ohio State did. So in that case, yeah, Ohio State definitely didn't deserve. I think Alabama deserved it. They played pretty steadily all year compared to Ohio State, who's had a lot of struggles this year. Alabama, I don't think has really. The only game they really struggled in was the Mississippi State game, and of course the one they lost to was Auburn. Ohio State struggled in quite a few games. Ohio State probably struggled half of their games. So yeah, and now we're moving on to the Mountain West, which your champion was Fresno State. No, not Fresno State. Boise State, okay? Now, actually, I think I came pretty close in this one. Because I believe I had Fresno State. Getting to the championship to play. And I bet no one saw that coming either. I bet nobody saw Fresno State winning. I bet no one saw Fresno State getting to the championship. But now you guys, I don't make college football predictions, but I've already been predicting some games already. I think I already have some conference champions. I'm telling you guys, based off of the schedule, I think Virginia Tech, with a favorable schedule, having some pretty good teams at the right place. I think Virginia Tech has a potential to be 11-1 this season. I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win the conference championship. They could even be a playoff favorite if they play good enough. But one team I saw, Memphis, they schedule a lot of easy non-conference games. Only good non-conference team they might have is Missouri, and that's only depending on if Missouri can do good next season, because it's like right in the middle of the season, and by week 5 or week 6, we should be able to tell who's good and who's really not. And let's just say, two conferences that I got messed up really bad was Big Ten and ACC. For sure, and the SEC. In fact, I got all the Power 5 teams probably wrong. All the Power 5 championships. And the closest one I probably had was the Pac-12, which had Stanford and USC, which I could completely see being a championship. I did not doubt that happening at all. I said it would probably be Utah or USC. That's what I predicted early season. That's exactly who it was. But yeah, I'm getting off track here. I'm talking about the Mountain West, and I go on talking about the Power 5 teams. But Boise State, I did not expect to be as good as they ended up being, having 3 losses, because also Fresno State too late in the season. I actually had San Diego State being there with, I think I had San Diego State 9-3, being there playing a 9-3 Fresno State. I predicted Fresno State to be 9-3 because Fresno State had a pretty favorable schedule, and I think they only they only lost one conference game until, of course, they lost to BSU. But the only other teams they lost to, other than one team in their conference, they got blown out by Alabama and Washington. And Alabama and Washington, trust me, are not bad teams. They're definitely gonna beat the team like Fresno State pretty easily. Therefore, eliminating their. Let me tell you, Fresno State scheduled pretty well. I mean, they played some teams that they knew they couldn't beat. I mean, unless Fresno State can beat those teams, they're not getting to the playoffs. I know that. I wouldn't be scheduling Alabama or Clemson. I'd be scheduling for something more like Oklahoma or USC or Western Michigan scheduled USC. They did a pretty good job. Or Penn State. No, Penn State will kick. Yeah, Penn State would kick Fresno State's ass. But I mean, go for teams that you know you can beat, but are also pretty good. Like the best team that you know you have a chance against. Even if you lose that game, you still scheduled good. But honestly, I thought San Diego State would be it. But I did choose the right division. Didn't choose the right team from that division. But I did not doubt Boise State. Actually, I kind of did because I didn't see them getting all this way, but they did. Now let's look at the 2 most disappointing championships that I could have predicted. Okay, Miami and Clemson. Now, I believe I chose, from that coastal division, I believe I chose Virginia Tech. And let me tell you, I was completely wrong. Virginia Tech played like shit against Miami. That's exactly why Miami beat them and won the conference championship. Not the conference championship, the division championship. And sadly enough, a team that got beat by Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh, was able to get it done against Miami, but not Virginia Tech. And you know, Miami almost got beat by like 17 points. Like Pittsburgh was up 24-7. They were getting their ass kicked. They tried to come back, but I didn't see it happening. There was no way in hell I saw it happening. No way. But anyway, the other division champion is Clemson. I would have never saw that. Well, actually, I would have. I would have for sure. Wouldn't have seen Miami being the champion, but wouldn't have seen Miami winning their division. But I definitely would have saw Clemson. But I did not. But for whatever reason, I was stupid and I didn't predict them to be conference champions. I predicted Louisville. I thought Louisville would finish like 10-2 or something like that. Maybe one conference loss. But let me tell you, Louisville in many ways was disappointing this season. I mean, they did play some tough teams. Let me tell you, that Boston College loss. They were at home and they got beat by a field goal by Boston College. Boston College actually finished the season pretty well. They turned their season right around. I mean, what made them look bad was they got their ass handed to them by got their asses handed to them by freaking Wake Forest. They can beat Louisville. Louisville actually ended up getting beat by Wake Forest. Now, Wake Forest actually played pretty well. Non-conference, they usually do. In fact, they almost went 5-0. They were pretty close to probably at one point getting up in the rankings if they won enough games. But I could just see it happening where they're not going to win. So, you know. Wake Forest next season, I think I predicted them to be 8-4 and have the same. No, I think they'll beat Notre Dame though, because they play Notre Dame in their non-conference at home. So I predicted them to beat Notre Dame, which you guys are probably thinking you're fucking high, and you could be right, but I'm gonna say you're wrong. just because I just forgot what I was talking about. Shit. No, wait. We were talking about the ACC, about Wake Forest, how they were like 4-0, 5-0. Now I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. Yes, I do. I think it'll be close, but they'll get it done based off of how Notre Dame played them. And how Wake Forest usually plays their non-conference. Usually pretty well. Unless Wake Forest is playing Alabama or Ohio State or uh, any other good team like that, I don't think they're going to get beat in the non-conference. They're a really good non-conference team. Usually they're just like Indiana, though, and they fuck it up. But Clemson, I'm not completely surprised, but I just had Louisville going over them. Because Louisville, they have a Heisman winner in his freshman year, and they just got ripped off last season, honestly. If they just had beaten Kentucky, they might have had a shot. No, they had no chance of getting to that. They had no chance of getting to the conference championship. I'm just saying they might have had a shot at like a New Year's Six bowl or some shit if they won. And I expected them to improve and only lose to good teams like Clemson and NC State. Well, no, they didn't get beat by NC State last year. They kicked their ass. And NC State returned the favor this season. And NC State, I actually kind of thought also had a chance. I thought they had too many games they could possibly lose. So, my fault there. We're finally going to so Clemson's your champion there. Finally, the most disappointed I feel. I went against my team in all odds. I chose Michigan at 10-2 to be the conference champions of that conference. And Michigan did not do that well this season, but that's probably because they didn't have. Now, trust me, even without Wilton Spade, I still think they would do fairly what they did, but I think they still would have gotten a 10-2 record if they had Wilton Spade. And I think they would have even beaten Ohio State. Trust me, not having Wilton Spade did affect them quite a bit. I mean, I could not see them beating Ohio State last game of the season, having John O'Corn. There's no way in hell I would see that. I could see them winning with Wilton Spate, but not freaking John O'Corn. John O'Corn is actually not. I think their third string Brandon Peters is better than John O'Corn, honestly. But I predicted Michigan's schedule, and I believe they'll be 9-3 next year. So I think I have Ohio State repeating as champions, going 12-0. Pretty bold prediction, and they play Iowa. For whatever reason, I think they'll beat Iowa. I could be high, so I would just kick their ass this year. Of course, that's on neutral field. There is no distractions there. You lose, you fucked up. You just straight up are that bad. It's not that you got distracted. No, the teams are just bad. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm watching. I'm watching something about distracted teams. It's on ESPN, though. You know what, guys? I will be back in a second to continue talking about this. And just before you guys say I'm cheating here, I'm going to do the Army-Navy predictions. I don't remember if I told you guys, but I think Army will win that game. The Army's just straight up been doing better than Navy. They have a better record. They have a better running game. I think they're the worst passing team because they don't throw them. There's only been 5 completions this season by Army, and that's fucking insane considering that this is just throughout the course of 11 games so far. That they've only thrown 5 passes all season through 11 games, and that's really weird. But they're the best running team though, because they really only do running. They only pass when it's necessary, and sometimes they don't even do it when it's necessary. They just straight up freaking run. But I don't get how they're doing so well though. I don't get how Army does so well on foot. Because I would imagine they've been penetrated by now. But yeah, I'm going to tell you guys, Army's probably going to win because I actually chose Army preseason to win. And I think I predicted them to have a 10-2 record, so I might just be off by a game or something. I think I either predicted Army to be 9. I think I almost nailed Army's record pretty much. I think I had Army like 9-3, 10-2, something like that. Army, if they win today, will be 9-3, and they'll be playing in the Armed Forces Bowl against San Diego State, which I actually think San Diego State will win that game because they've been doing pretty well this season. Actually, they were doing really well at the beginning. I think they went 6-0 before eventually just losing a bunch of stupid games, such as one to Boise State. But yeah, maybe if Army can schedule really good teams that they can beat, maybe at one point they'll get back in like the top 25. They'll look just like Navy. The past few years, getting in the top 25, because Navy has a pretty tough schedule. Navy doesn't play an easy schedule. Army plays a few tough teams, but I mean Navy throughout the board they have to play a bunch of athletic American Athletic Conference teams like Houston, Temple, USF, UCF, which they might have even beaten this year. But Navy, I feel one day could actually get to the playoff with the schedule they have. But they got to be able to pull some out that they know they can't sometimes. So yeah. So we're gonna finish talking about OSU and Wisconsin. Man, that was actually kind of a game because Wisconsin could have just straight up came back from being down like 24-13 and just won the game. But however, OSU was able to keep up on defense. They got a few turnovers on Wisconsin, and that helped them win. I did not have OSU or Wisconsin. I chose Michigan and Nebraska, Nebraska I believe I had 11-1. I am fucking disappointed with that Nebraska team. They didn't even get to a bowl game. They were 4-8. Okay, there were a lot of teams that I didn't get right, but that is a team I got way off. I mean, I had them 11-1. They went 4-8, guys. 4-mother-effing-8. And Michigan, I mean, they came a little bit closer than Nebraska. I mean, Michigan, they finished like, trying to remember. Michigan, I think, finished fourth in their division, and I had them winning the conference. That's because I pretty much thought everyone in the Big Ten was gonna, be bad. Everyone in the Big Ten was gonna lose at least 2 games. That wasn't the case, guys. That was not the case, and it's quite laggy here. So let me just finish. With conference champions I had. So guys, I had a MAC championship. I believe I had MAC championship. I believe I had Toledo winning, which they did by quite a bit, like 45-28. Akron scored quite a bit, but I mean, Akron, guys. Fucking Akron. I did not have Akron being a team that would even have a shot to get to that championship. Their division was so weak that a 7-5 team was able to get to the conference championship. That is bullcrap, okay? Now, I don't know how the MAC works. I believe they have divisions too. Yeah, they have divisions. But I mean, there's no way in hell that Akron would have any chance, that I would have thought Akron would be there, okay? So last year was Ohio and Western Michigan. But for some reason, I think Ohio and Toledo are in the same division, though. Yeah, they are. So that's why Ohio went over them last year. So, and Toledo kept them up because Ohio probably didn't finish good like they needed to. But whatever. I did predict Toledo, but not 10-2. I predicted them at 11-1, and they'd probably be in the top 25 right now. I didn't have them being. They weren't my favorite to get a. They weren't my favorite to get to a power to get to a New Year's Eve bowl, but I did. I didn't have them at a New Year's Six bowl, but I did have them in a pretty good bowl against a good team. I actually don't even remember, but so we got 7 conference championships done. I didn't have much to say about the MAC because it the MAC is one of the most that is one of the most easiest conferences to predict. You know, most of the teams are gonna suck, and there might be a few teams that do good. So now we got Conference USA. Uh, by the way, there's nothing I'm looking at here. I just straight up know what's going on. But guys, we have uh we have Florida Atlantic at we have Florida Atlantic and North Texas. Now, Florida Atlantic kicked their ass. I did not even know how North Texas would have a shot to win. I honestly do not know. Oh wait, Army scored a touchdown already, so my prediction's about right on that one. That is, if they keep doing what they're doing right now and they blow Navy the freak out or something, then yep, we already know. Oh, it's snowing like shit down there. There's like snow all over the ground. And Army got it through. So 7-0. Okay, I'm sorry I'm watching football as I'm predicting it. But I got to this late because I fell asleep last. Okay, guys, my life is rough. I'm a high schooler, okay? I'm only 14, but damn. I mean, YouTube won't be here by the time I'm 18, so I mean, why not do it now? I mean, it could be here, but there's no telling because that's still 4 or 5 years away. But guys, I'm gonna tell you these that predicting conferences can take hours. Okay, look at the whole FBS and predict every schedule of those teams. Now, what makes it easy is a lot of these teams are organized in conferences. However, the independents, you really wouldn't know if they could get to the playoffs or not. Then you have to think about who you might think will get in the playoffs, you know? It's kind of like a preseason committee kind of thing, but for just you, that's it. Like, it's almost you just, you know, predicting stuff. And preseason predicting is not the easiest because you don't know the recruits until about summertime, and I like to do predictions like right at the end of. Now the schedule, some schedules aren't immediately determined, but I mean some are, so I can look at those fine, and then FB schedules, football schedules, will literally freaking. It's a website, by the way. I can leave a link to it below for you guys, but it'll let you guys check out different team schedules, and it'll only show you FBS schedules, though. You won't be able to see a team that's like FCS, like James Madison or North Dakota State. They won't show those. But guys, it is not easy task preseason trying to predict all 128 FBS schools. But I'll even predict the smaller schools, like smaller conferences like CUSA and that. It's not easy, but I mean it could be depending on what you know so far. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna get something wrong when you do predictions. Okay, you're not gonna get the whole thing right. You're just not gonna get it right. There's some things you're gonna get wrong. The NFL, you're more likely to get it right than wrong because there's not as much to predict, and usually the same teams do good, the same teams do bad. But of course, sometimes it's different though. So yeah, guys. That's that. And now let's talk about the final conference, CUSA. Florida Atlantic. I just have no words for how their season went. They started out 1-3. They won 9 straight games. Won a conference championship. And this is with their new coach Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is a Lane Kiffin knows a lot because of Nick Saban. I mean, he's kind of like Nick Saban after being under him for so many years. Probably about 6 or 7 years. I don't know. He was coaching at USC for about a year. I'm gonna guess he was there for quite a few years, learning from Nick Saban. And Nick Saban, I know, he does not like to have close games with any team at all. Nick Saban likes to kick ass entirely. He's mad pretty much. He literally wants to rage every time his team does not get a blowout win over a good team. Like last year, they blew out almost everyone they played, including number 9 Tennessee. They were number 9 at one point. And Alabama played them on the road, which made it even more of a case. Alabama deserved. They were like they were far separated from every team in the FBS last year. Farly spreaded. Now Florida Atlantic, you could see actually eventually in a few years if they keep Lane Kiffin, they could be seeing some good things happen to their team. That is, if at one point they can just start lowering up. Like if they start competing against Power 5 schools like Alabama or something, not Alabama, but like Ohio State or Penn State kind of schools, compete against them. I mean, they already competed against Wisconsin this year. I mean, Wisconsin, they only scored 31 points, and FAU, I feel, for the team they are, played pretty good defense. That was the best team they played all year, and they only kept them to 17 points. So good job to FAU there. And good job at winning the championship. I actually don't even remember who I thought was going to win the championship for that. I'm just going to say good job to them. And then Army and Navy, we know, is always the big game of the year, usually for a lot of people. Because those are two colleges that help people out who want to serve in the military one day. So, these are people who want to fight for us, and they play against each other because, they want to see who's best at fighting for that trophy, that Commander-in-Chief Forces trophy, or whatever it's called. But now we're gonna look at the bowl season, okay, guys? Now I'm probably gonna be here forever looking at this shit. Let's look at the bowls. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna look at the. Okay. I'm just gonna go look at the ranked teams bowls, okay? I'm gonna look at certain bowls, okay? And if I don't really want to talk, if it's like a lower team, or if I have something to say about their season, how they might have done, how they might have done good, or if it was a team I thought did pretty bad this season compared to what they did, we'll talk about them. But of course, I'll tell you guys, BYU was expected to be pretty good. They finished. I had them being 9-3. They were literally Michigan State of last year. They beat Michigan State last year, so I guess they're just a little bit better. I mean, they couldn't even beat East Carolina, guys. That is complete shit. They could not beat East Carolina, which an FCS school, James Madison, beat them. So I mean, you're telling me you can't fucking beat freaking James Madison? Yeah, you're pretty much saying you can't even compete against an FCS school, James Madison. Like, what the hell, man? You guys are pretty bad. But what I hate though is that there's only one FBS game that plays in week 15 of the college football season, and it's this game right here. So now we're gonna go down the list. By the way, I'm gonna do college football bowl mania, but I've been having trouble getting. It won't let me pick for some reason. But somehow, guys, while I'm looking at Division II teams, there are a lot of teams that I would never see being so freaking good. They have good records and all that shit. But I wouldn't know because I don't watch Division 2 and 3. I only know Division 1 and 2. Or not 1 and 2. I don't even know Division 2. Hell, I only know Division 1. I was about to say, don't say you know Division 2 if you just said you freaking only watch like FBS. I don't know if FCS is like Division 1 or Division 2, but I know it's one of the two. They might even have an FCS for like every division, which would be sad. Division 3 are like really small schools, and I don't even think they give out athletic scholarships for these students. And, yeah, guys, and yeah, these are some weaker bowls like Troy and North Texas. Troy will win, and Western Kentucky should beat Georgia State, but I don't know. Western Kentucky, I think, finished 6-6. I think I had them like 9-3 or something. They were quite disappointing. Western Kentucky was. I thought they were going to be good, but Actually, quite disappointing for what we all thought they would be. Now we're moving on to an unexpected number 25 Boise State. I would have never expected them to be number 25 with how they played against some teams like Virginia. Virginia didn't actually turn out to be as good as we thought they would. But, we thought they were good just because, holy crap, that's my hair. I didn't even notice. But, freaking Virginia, who finished like 6-6, they lost to them at home. So Boise State, I don't think is really that good. I think to be a number 25, they're overrated. I do not think they deserve to be in the 25. I think they're overrated. And they're facing Oregon, who finished 7-5. Honestly, though, Boise State should beat Oregon for the fact that Oregon really hasn't done that well. I mean, their head coach after just their first season, I believe Willie Taggart's going to Florida State because Jimbo Fisher's deciding to go to Texas A&M. So I'm gonna guess that Oregon's gonna suck again next year because they're not gonna have Willie Taggart. But who knows? They could just get a head coach who's just as good. I don't know who their head coach is. In fact, if Willie Taggart had just left a little bit earlier, what would be funny is Chip Kelly could have just went right back to Oregon, and that would be hilarious. He's gonna play for a team that he left about 8 years ago. 8 years ago. I don't remember, but yeah, guys. So I think Boise State will win that one. Pretty much every team on the left side, I've already chosen to win their games. Except if Western Kentucky's an absolute freaking disappointment. Georgia State, I believe, played Penn State, got their ass kicked. So this makes Penn State look just a little bit better when they play a team that's bowl eligible. And Marshall and Colorado. Okay, I'm not even going to look at this. Arkansas State, I don't even know how they finished. I hope they finished well, but I'm going to say they will beat Middle Tennessee. I don't even know how Middle Tennessee got there, but I'm definitely going to say that Arkansas State will beat Middle Tennessee, and I think Colorado State beats Marshall. That is very bold, based off of how they played Idaho last year in the Idaho Potato Bowl, famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Got their asses kicked. I mean, they did score a lot of points late in the game, but that was a crazy game. I was disappointed, though, when Colorado State didn't win. We got Florida Atlantic will kick ass, okay? If they can beat North Texas, that should be an easy win. I don't even know that that's a bowl game, honestly. Louisiana Tech, what I thought could have been better, but was pretty much a disappointment. SMU, they're improving. I remember just 2 or 3 years ago, I think they were knocking on the door of 0-12. Now, as you see this year, guys, they're at 7-5. They're bowl eligible. They're bowl eligible now for the first time in many years, maybe even a decade or something. I don't know. Whenever they last went 6-6 or better. And then on Thursday, December 21st, which I believe is my first day off for break, Temple and Florida Atlantic. Now, Florida Atlantic, I'm actually very shocked because I saw they have an 8-4 record, guys. Florida International, not Florida Atlantic. Florida International, they are better than I thought. They're 8-4, okay? You'd have never thought they'd even finish with a winning record. Then you got Temple, who's doing pretty bad this year compared to the last 2 seasons. They finished 6-6. Now, I believe they're still better than Florida International, even though they both play in group of 5. Even though they're both group of 5 schools, I think Temple's a way better school than Florida International. But, I actually want to check out their schedule first. I'm making too many assumptions here, man, but Florida International might be a good school, but I think Temple overall, they want a bowl win. They want to get to 7-6, make their coach look better than what they think. I think I had Temple 6-6, so I believe I got that right, or 7-5, somewhere around there. And then Florida International, I don't even think I had them winning it. I don't even know how many games I had them winning. But that would be your bold prediction to make it to a bowl game out of any team. But anyway, they did make it, so I can't say anything about that. By the way, I'm sorry, guys, that I didn't make the reaction video I said I would a few days ago. But I got to this first. Then we got UAB versus Ohio. This is actually going to be a tough one. I think both of them are playing at the same level pretty much. I mean, UAB's coming back from what? The last time they played was 2014, and they were actually bowl eligible that season, and they come back now just a little bit better. They're slightly improving. Maybe next year they might get to a conference championship. Now, in fact, I think I had them. I think I have them going to a conference championship against Marshall. I don't know, but I think I have UAB at like 10-2, I believe. Yeah, I believe if they're not in the same division, which I don't think they are, I think it'll be UAB and Marshall. Marshall, sadly, will probably win it, though, because I think they're a better team. But I'm just going to say Ohio wins it. They've been doing pretty well. They beat Toledo, who was the conference champion, so I think they're the only the team in their conference to beat Toledo. I'm going to go with Ohio to beat UAB. Sorry, Blazers. I don't hate you. I actually kind of like your logo. Badass, but I'm definitely going to Ohio. Okay, I'm talking about some shit games. Central Michigan and Wyoming. I don't even know why I'm talking about some of these. Okay, South Florida and Texas Tech. Now, I'm going to talk about all three of these games here. Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Literally, that's where UAB plays. The team that we just saw a few minutes ago. Yeah, just a few seconds ago. UAB playing Ohio. But I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I think I got South Florida winning that game because they need to get some wins. They'll be 10-2. They'll be 10-2 for the second straight season. But sadly, they did not get to their conference championship again this season because of a loss to a good UCF team. They were playing for the conference championship, but they just didn't get it because they didn't win. So, but Texas Tech has played pretty well this season. I mean, they competed against teams like Oklahoma State, I think. And though they got blown out of the water by Iowa State. But they did beat. Who the fuck did they beat? No, they had a pretty good record starting off the season. They beat some good teams, but I mean, they were even ranked number 24th at one point, but then they lost right after that. However, South Florida has stayed pretty steady throughout the season, and they usually put up a lot of points, guarding who they play. So I think South Florida will get it done by, I'm going to say 17. That's probably way too big. But I'm just going to tell you guys right now, that's probably the truth. South Florida is probably going to win that game. San Diego State versus Army. Now, now that's where TCU plays. Now, I really couldn't tell you who will win that game. Cause, I mean, both teams seem to be playing at the same level. Honestly, if San Diego State still plays pretty well with Rashad Penny, I think they should be able to win this game. But Army might just be able to find a way to win. They might even be able to win even with not even playing that great, but I think it would be accurate to say that San Diego State will probably win, but Army could. That's why they're in a bowl game to decide. Now, I'm not even going to speak about that. Their Appalachian State was very disappointing. They should have beaten Wake Forest, but honestly they didn't, so they are bad for it. And you're going to get punished. And Lad Peebles, I think, is where South Alabama plays, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to say Toledo wins. Fresno State versus Houston. That's the Hawaii Bowl, okay? Now, Houston and Fresno State, I believe, both of them are where I thought they would be at this point in the season. Both, uh, both doing fairly well, but like not championship worthy, you know. Fresno State was in their conference championship, so I think this game might actually be pretty good. I mean, Houston's been playing pretty well. They beat USF in an upset. Then Fresno State, they've beaten a lot of good teams. They beat San Diego State. They beat Boise State. They lost to Boise State, but I mean, they beat them before they lost to them. Hey, just like Auburn and Georgia. But yeah, and I really couldn't tell you guys who wins that one. I'm just gonna take a bold prediction right now. I bet a lot of you will disagree with me. I'm gonna go Houston, and it's a very close one, but Houston. Okay, these are all disappointing. However, I think that Northern Illinois will beat Duke, and Duke will be 6-7. I think West Virginia will beat Utah, and actually I wouldn't know Kansas State or UCLA. I think it would be safe to say Kansas State. They've been playing pretty well the past few weeks. They even had that big lead over Oklahoma State. I'm really tired, guys, right now. Actually, I'm not. I've kind of just been talking for a little while. It's been an hour, you know. I kind of want to finish this up. And these are some bigger teams. Okay, honestly, Iowa. I think Iowa will beat Boston College because they kicked Ohio State's ass. They kicked Nebraska's ass. Why not just say they're gonna win? I mean that's simple enough. That'll probably be a good game, Iowa and Boston College. But I'm gonna go Iowa first. And Florida State will beat Southern Miss. That game is that game's gonna be way too easy. It's just like Louisiana Monroe, pretty much. Maybe even a little worse. I don't know. Arizona versus Purdue. I could not tell you guys who wins that game, honestly. Purdue has some pretty good wins, such as Iowa on the schedule, such as Missouri, and both of those teams have the same record, 7-5. Honestly, I'm going to tell you guys though, Purdue will probably win it most likely, but Arizona could win it too. I mean, they're just as good, but I like Purdue. They play better against better teams. Arizona, the only good team they ever had a shot against was USC. They ended up losing that and losing their rankings. So yeah. Also, my boys Missouri playing Texas. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Missouri. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm going Missouri. I like Missouri. They've been playing pretty good the past six games. In Texas, I mean they're getting up there, but honestly, I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, Texas isn't gonna beat this high-powered Missouri offense. Virginia at Navy. Okay, now that might be a good one. I'm just gonna go Navy. I think Navy will get a winning record this year. Okay, Oklahoma State, easy enough. I think Oklahoma State has had some fluke losses, so I'm gonna say Oklahoma State will win that game. And now that one might be hard. Stanford and TCU. Okay, let me tell you guys right now. I'm gonna go with TCU. Okay, that might be really bold for me to go with that. I'm gonna go with TCU. They've been playing some pretty good teams, a lot tougher than you would expect. And Stanford, the only good team they beat was, I believe, USC and Notre Dame. Well, Stanford's beaten some pretty good teams too, but I'm gonna just go with a close one, TCU. And Washington State, Michigan State. Now, I believe Washington State is favored, even though Michigan State's ranked higher. Honestly, what I'm going to tell you guys, Michigan State wins that game easy. Easy peasy, they win that game. Just like Minnesota did last season. So they'll win that. And what I'm going to tell you guys here is I'm going to tell you guys right here. I'm going to go with Wake Forest, NC State, Northwestern, Utah State, and Ohio State. This is on Friday, December the 29th. Now, you guys are going to ask me how fucking high I am right now. to go with Wake Forest to beat Texas A&M. I could be really high. Honestly, I think Wake Forest is playing pretty good this season. I think they're like 8-4, 7-5, something like that. But they've been playing pretty well this season compared to other seasons they've had. Texas A&M's just been under shit this year. They haven't played that well. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, Wake Forest, they could get a big win or a close win, but I'm just saying, no matter what, Wake Forest. NC State's ranked number 24th. They've been playing pretty well this season compared to others. I think this is the first time they've been ranked since 2010, guys. That is a long ass time to not be ranked. But I'm gonna go NC State. That is an easy one to go with. NC State. And then you guys probably know why I'm choosing these guys. Because, face it, Utah State is clearly better than New Mexico State. Northwestern's ranked. Kentucky's not. But yet, I think Northwestern has been playing better than Kentucky for part of the season. And I think they'll do better now. So, Northwestern over Kentucky. And finally, in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, we got Ohio State and USC. Ohio State, I forget how long it's been since they've gone. It's so long I don't even know if I was alive. That's how long it's been. But I'm gonna go with Ohio State because they're higher ranked. I feel if they went in the playoffs, they would get their ass kicked by Clemson. But if they go and play number 8 USC, definitely their chances are a lot better. And I like them winning. Fairly close game, but I think they'll win by maybe 2 touchdowns or something. I don't know. I can't wait to see that game, though. It'll be good. Now we got Louisville versus number 23 Mississippi State. They dropped about 10 spots. They dropped about 10 spots after losing to Ole Miss, and I think they deserve to go down because Ole Miss was only like 6-6. Ole Miss is only 6-6, guys. Yeah, it's a rivalry game, but they're at home. They beat their ass last year. This year, Ole Miss returned the favor and beat them. Ole Miss is trying to turn their program around. And honestly, Louisville's just been a disappointment. And even with their backup quarterback, I think Mississippi State will win. Louisville's favored, but I think Mississippi State wins. And now we got Iowa State at number 20, Memphis. Now, I know Iowa, they looked like they were going to be a lot better of a team, but guess what, people? They were not. Because they straight up just got their ass kicked against, no, they didn't get their ass kicked, but they lost, in fact, I think they're a team that hasn't had a big loss yet this season. I'm going to tell you, they lost to a non-ranked West Virginia team on the road. I'll give it to them, it was on the road, but I mean, they still should have won that being ranked. Because they might have even had a chance to get to the playoff. At that level they were playing, you know. They had a chance, I think. Being ranked number 15th, I believe they were like 6-2. Or there was only 4 weeks left. If they went out, they're probably going to the conference championship to play Oklahoma. And honestly, I think they could beat Oklahoma again. I wouldn't be shocked if they did. They didn't get that opportunity because they didn't go to the championship. Because they lost. So, lost too many games. They couldn't get there. And Penn State and Washington. Okay, I'm going to go with Penn State there. Washington just has not played as well. And I think Washington at number 11, they're overranked, honestly. I think Washington should. Really, I don't even think Washington deserves a New Year's Six Bowl, to be honest. Washington should be out of it, but I still like Penn State to win this one for sure. Still for sure like Penn State to win. Penn State's played all out better than Washington playing all those ranked teams. Yeah, they'll probably destroy Washington. I wouldn't be surprised. And number 6 at Wisconsin, at number 10 Miami. Okay, honestly, both of these teams are overrated, but I still think Wisconsin would be pretty good even if they weren't undefeated. But yeah, I think for sure you can say they're gonna beat Miami because I mean Miami they lost to a Pittsburgh team who's 4-7. They didn't even get to a bowl game. That's how bad they are. So I'm definitely gonna say Wisconsin for sure. Sorry, Miami. And the Capital One Orange Bowl. Okay, guys, I'm kind of tired talking, so I'm just gonna look at these. Well, I forgot. That's right, Notre Dame and LSU. That's the Citrus Bowl. So that's gonna be a game that you want to look at. I'll be back in a second, guys. All right, guys. So I'm back. I got distracted for a minute, so I had to pause the video. Okay, Michigan and South Carolina. Now, I really couldn't tell you who would win this game. Honestly, I think they're both evenly matched. South Carolina and Michigan, I believe, both are 8-4. South Carolina, after getting destroyed by Clemson, Michigan, I don't even think has been blown out this season. I don't know. This is a tough one to say. I'm gonna say Michigan wins a close one against South Carolina. I'm definitely gonna go Michigan, but I'm gonna root for South Carolina because fuck Michigan. I told you guys I'm an Ohio State fan, so fuck Michigan. Okay, now guys, this is probably the hardest bowl game I think it'll be to predict. UCF against Auburn. Now, yeah, Auburn has nothing really to play for, but UCF, undefeated, high octane offense, but low on defense. But I'm going to tell you, if Auburn plays really good defense, Auburn probably gets this win. But good job getting here, UCF. But honestly, I think UCF will play Auburn kind of like how Western Michigan played Wisconsin last year. I'm going to say Auburn wins it by 14. Sorry for you UCF fans. But yeah, I think that one will be pretty hard to predict, though, because UCF, we don't know how they'll play. They could actually play really good in this damn game. Such as any other team that's in the Bowl Mania this year. Bowl Mania pretty much meaning any bowl. We're not even going to do any national championship predictions. You guys already know. I choose Alabama to beat whoever they play. But you guys will find out who that'll be in a minute. Okay, yeah, the Citrus Bowl's not even a New Year's Six Bowl. I thought it was for a minute, but it's not. Honestly, guys, Notre Dame really has not overly played that great this season. But, they have played some pretty good teams. They blew out some good teams. But they did not perform as well as I would have thought. I would have imagined they got to the playoff. No, actually, they're playing just as well as I thought they would do. I just did not expect them to ever be in the playoff rankings, And after that, they looked really good. But then they just fell apart. And LSU usually beats teams who fell apart. So, look at Louisville last year. They got beat by LSU. They started out really well. And they got freaking blew out by LSU. So, I think it happens again. And LSU gets a good win. Now we got the playoff. The first game, the Rose Bowl, which was the first ever playoff game ever played in the Rose Bowl. First of all, we got Georgia and Oklahoma. Okay, yeah, I'm going Oklahoma in a close one with this one. Honestly, Georgia played really good defense. In order to beat Auburn, they played really good defense. Auburn could not get anywhere. And Georgia pretty much blew them out. Auburn was looking to go up 14-0, but they never did. So, they didn't even get 14. They lost like 28-7, as you guys saw earlier. And Georgia did a pretty good job. So I'm going to say it's a close game there. Honestly, I couldn't tell you guys what the score is. I'm going to go with something like Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a really good defense, and Georgia's a good... Oklahoma's a good offense. Okay, I got that very wrong if I said defense. Oklahoma's defense is shit. But their offense is amazing. Now, their defense can play when they need them to, but honestly, their offense beats their defense by a lot. And Georgia has a really good defense. They don't play extremely well on offense, but I mean they do when they need to, just like Oklahoma. So I could see this being a good game. And I'm gonna go with Oklahoma 38-31, something like that. Maybe 45-31 if something happens terribly wrong for Georgia and they need to come back late in the game. And then easy enough, you guys are gonna know what I'm gonna say. I'm saying Alabama because Alabama was my preseason national champion. But however, instead of coming in at the number one spot, I knew they would still be playing a team like Clemson. Just I expected them to be in that All-State Sugar Bowl. I just didn't think they'd be the 4 team. Thought they'd be the 1 team, playing either Utah or Stanford, which they would have easily won. But I mean, Clemson's going to be a real challenge for them. But you know what? Just because I don't think Alabama's going to lose to the same team 2 years in a row and a championship, because Alabama's not the team that does that. Everyone probably thinks I'm fucking with them, but a lot of people, everyone's pretty much saying, "Oh, Clemson's gonna win this game for sure. They're gonna kick ass and they're gonna win." Honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys, you're wrong. Alabama will win this game. It will be a close margin. I think it'll be like 41-38, or it could be low scoring, like when they play LSU or something, like 10-7. But I think it'll be more on the high scoring side, and Alabama wins 41-38. So therefore, I think it's Alabama and Oklahoma in the national championship. This is a rematch of the 2013 season, but 2014 All-State Sugar Bowl. Just the Sugar Bowl. Let's not add sponsorships in there. Yeah, but it's a rematch of the Sugar Bowl a few years ago. And I believe it was the quarterback of before Baker Mayfield that had defeated this Alabama team. Now, honestly, I couldn't tell you. Oklahoma might win the national championship. Now, I'm telling you, it will be Oklahoma and Alabama. I think it'll be a close game, honestly. It's like, pretty much the playoff games will be. Honestly, I think Alabama will win this by a touchdown, and shockingly, number 4 seed, for only the second time in playoff history, is going to win the national championship. I mean, unless Oklahoma just gets in gear, This Alabama defense is really good, by the way. Yeah, I just opened my eyes like, oh, I'm really high. I just did some good pills. But yeah, I've been going on for over an hour. Well over an hour by now. And the Army-Navy game is already in the second quarter, I believe. I believe Navy's up 10-7 right now, so I could be fucking wrong right now. But I'm going to tell you guys, Army's going to find a way to win it, just like they did last year. They're going to win it. Maybe not 17-21, but, something around that. They could even blow them out later on, just like second half. Their Navy's up like 17-10. They just come right back. They just zoom, and then they go up like 45-0. They win the game like 45-17, something like that. Who knows? But I'm going to tell you guys my national champion preseason is Alabama, but I can see Oklahoma winning just as well, too, because Oklahoma's a really good team. If it's Oklahoma and Clemson, I think that'll be like a shootout. And I'm going to go with Clemson if it's Clemson and Oklahoma, but you guys are probably thinking, oh, Georgia can't get in, Georgia can't win. Georgia can win. I told you it's going to be a close game, so Georgia might just find a way to pull it out. And if they do, I don't think they're winning the national championship. I think Alabama and Clemson know them well enough to where they're going to beat Georgia. So, sorry, Georgia fans out there. Hope you didn't get triggered too much. Anyway, we've been going on for way over an hour. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want me to do college football season predictions next year, just let me know in the comments below. And if you guys want me to do anything sports-wise, talk about any other sports, predict what you guys like, maybe even predict the NCAA bracket. I'm a gaming channel, though. I really don't do much involving sports, but trust me, outside of YouTube, I watch a lot of sports, because nothing on TV is real anymore. So like, I go to like football and basketball and all that kind of shit, sports. But sometimes I watch like stupid TV shows like freaking King of the Hill. I love that show because it's really old, but I don't need to be going on for way too much longer. This video is a minute and 10 minutes long. An hour and 10 minutes, not a minute and 10 minutes. That makes no fucking sense. But before I swear or make your guys' lives any worse than what it already is, because you're watching this video, just don't waste your time with this channel, okay? Okay? Okay, we've made a good agreement. Shake my hand. Okay, I don't need to be fucking around with you guys anymore. If you guys want to subscribe, do that. Like the video. I'm not going to force you to, but do it if you may. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.